There are moments in life when everything feels like it's falling apart. The weight of uncertainty, the pressure of failure, the unbearable pain of loss, these moments make it seem as though the world is crumbling. We question if we will ever rise again, if the struggles will ever end. But just when we think we've reached the end, life has a way of surprising us. Just like the caterpillar, buried in darkness, convinced its journey is over, only to emerge as something greater than it ever imagined, a butterfly. Every struggle has a purpose, though it rarely feels that way in the moment. Pain teaches us lessons that comfort never could. Growth demands discomfort. The caterpillar, in its safe and familiar existence, never expects that one day it will transform. It doesn't realize that what seems like an end is, in fact, a beginning. And yet, isn't that how life works? The moments that break us are the very ones that shape us into something stronger. Imagine a person who has spent years building a dream, only to watch it crumble overnight. The entrepreneur who pours every ounce of energy into a business, only to see it fail. The student who dedicates sleepless nights to studies, only to receive rejection letters. The heart that loves deeply, only to be shattered by betrayal. These moments make us feel small, insignificant, and unworthy. But what if these are not endings? What if they are simply the cocoon, the painful, necessary space between who we were and who we are meant to become? A caterpillar's transformation is not instant, nor is it painless. It spends time in isolation, in darkness, in a place where nothing seems to be happening. But deep inside, something is changing. The same is true for us. When life feels stagnant, when nothing seems to be working, when every attempt feels like a failure, it is in those very moments that growth is taking place. We just can't see it yet. Think of the times you have faced challenges that seemed impossible to overcome. Perhaps you were heartbroken, lost, or felt completely alone. But somehow, you survived. The pain that once seemed unbearable is now just a memory. The strength you never thought you had is now a part of you. That is transformation. That is growth. That is proof that just because something feels like the end doesn't mean it is. Life will test you. It will push you beyond your limits. It will make you question everything. But every challenge carries a hidden lesson. Every failure is a stepping stone. Every heartbreak is an opportunity to love yourself more. And just when you think you have nothing left to give, when you believe the darkness has won, you will break free from the cocoon and realize you were meant to fly. There's a reason we admire butterflies. They represent transformation, beauty, and grace. But few people consider what they endured to get there. The struggle, the waiting, the uncertainty, it is all part of the journey. And the same applies to us. You may feel stuck, lost, or defeated, but that is not your final destination. You are simply in the process of becoming. If you have ever felt like giving up, like the world was closing in on you, like nothing you did was enough, know this: you are not alone. Every person who has ever accomplished something great has faced moments of doubt. Every success story has a chapter of failure. Every strong person was once broken. But they kept going. They allowed themselves to evolve. And because of that, they became something greater. The next time you feel like you're at the end of your journey, remember the caterpillar. It does not see the wings forming within the cocoon. It does not know what awaits on the other side. It only knows that everything it once was is changing. And that change is terrifying. But it is also necessary. Because without it, the caterpillar would never know what it means to fly. So trust your process. Trust that even in the darkness, something beautiful is taking shape. Your struggles are not in vain. Your setbacks are not the end. Your pain is not pointless. It is all leading you to something greater. And one day, when you look back, you will realize that the moment you thought was your breaking point was actually the moment you began to transform. Just when you thought it was over, you were becoming something extraordinary. You were becoming who you were always meant to be. The journey of transformation is never easy. It demands patience, resilience, and faith in what cannot yet be seen. The most difficult moments in life often serve as the foundation for our greatest growth. When we are faced with adversity, it is not a sign of failure, it is an invitation to evolve. Consider the people who have risen from the depths of despair. The single mother who struggled to feed her children only to build a successful life through sheer determination. The artist who was once rejected but later created a masterpiece that touched millions. The person who faced rejection after rejection but never stopped believing in their dreams. These individuals were once like the caterpillar, unsure, vulnerable, and filled with doubt. But they didn't give up. They pushed forward, and in doing so, they discovered their wings. Transformation does not happen in a moment, it is a process. It is waking up each day and choosing to keep going, even when the weight of the world feels unbearable. It is choosing to believe in yourself, even when no one else does. It is understood that the pain, the struggles, and the heartbreaks are not meant to destroy you. They are meant to shape you into the person you were destined to become. Pain has a purpose. Every setback, every disappointment, every tear shed in silence, it is all part of a greater story. A story of strength, resilience, and perseverance. The moments when you feel like you are falling apart are often the moments when you are being rebuilt into something stronger. Think about a butterfly struggling to break free from its cocoon. To an outsider, it may seem cruel, as though the butterfly is suffering unnecessarily. But that struggle is vital. If you were to help the butterfly by tearing the cocoon open, it would never gain the strength needed to fly. The struggle itself is what prepares it for the world. And the same is true for us. The challenges we face are not meant to break us but to strengthen us. There will be times when you question everything. When you wonder why life is so unfair, why success seems to come easily to others while you continue to struggle. But comparisons are dangerous. You are on your own journey, and just because you do not see immediate results does not mean progress isn't happening. Growth is often invisible at first. Seeds remain buried before they break through the soil. Muscles grow stronger only after they are torn and repaired. The same principle applies to you. Every great person you admire has faced moments of doubt. The difference is, they kept going. They understood that pain is temporary, but growth is permanent. They refused to let their hardships define them. And one day, they looked back and realized that everything they once feared had prepared them for the life they were meant to live. Imagine a version of yourself 5 years from now. A version that has overcome the challenges you are currently facing. A version that is stronger, wiser, and more fulfilled. What would that version of you say to the person you are today? Would they tell you to give up? Or would they remind you that the struggle is worth it? That every tear, every sleepless night, every failure was simply a stepping stone toward success. You have come too far to give up now. You have endured too much to let this be the end of your story. The pain you feel today will one day be the reason you inspire others. Your struggles will become someone else's survival guide. Your story will remind others that no matter how dark it gets, light always follows. So keep going. Keep believing. Keep pushing forward. Because just when you think the world is closing in, just when you believe you have nothing left to give, you will realize that you were never meant to stay in the cocoon forever. You were always meant to fly. And when that moment comes, when you finally spread your wings and take flight, you will understand that every hardship, every struggle, and every painful moment was leading you to the life you were meant to live. You are not at the end. You are simply in the middle of your transformation. And one day, you will look back with gratitude for the journey, knowing that just when you thought it was over, you were actually becoming the person you were always meant to be.